Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dubten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, Mahabala. Sư Tan Chân Katso, Tutan City, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, all disciples present here and over the internet. Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do? These are greetings in different languages.
Hola amigo. Que quiero mucho. Scoin. 一番。気持ちいい。Jumi. Yapi. Puring puring. Konnichiwa.
First, I would like to announce for next Sunday, September 25th at 3 p.m. there will be Padma Kumara Homa fire offering ceremony. We all know about Padma Kumara. In the past, in the Buddhist world, there was no such thing, or Padma Kumara was not known in the Buddhist world before. But after my detailed discussion and research, now the complete information on Padma Kumara is available. So this Padma Kumara, we can say, is manifestation of Padma Kumara is Grandmaster Lu, and Grandmaster Lu also manifests as Padma Kumara. His origin was when Golden Mother opened my third eye. That first night, she told me, "You are Padma Kumara, the lotus youth." And she brought me to see Padma Kumara. That's how it came about. Padma Kumara is the the foundation or the root of True Buddha School.
在唐朝的时候，中国唐朝的
And then later on,
唱歌呀
we found that there was a group of children singing this children rhyme, and it was saying Lotus manifested youth, which is in the ancient time it was the auspicious light youth, Lotus youth, and Lotus emanation youth. They're all the same.
现在广度众生
So it is quite amazing that this deity now is performing the deliverance, widely delivers sentient beings. So this would be the main deity for next Sunday's Homa.
起源
So we can say that that Padmakumara started a True Buddha school. Our True Buddha school stemmed from Padmakumara.
我们今天做木摩
And today we perform the Homa of Mahabala, the great protector with great
它的
power,
心咒是 Om Mahabharaya Swaha，
the mantra.
它的敬鬼咒是 Om Mahabharaya Hom Hom Hey。
And the second one was the mantra to stop or
特
to
别
protect us from all ghosts.
众和中所尊崇，
So this deity is especially revered in True Buddha school.
也是众和中的最特别的护法。
And he's also the most special protector of True Buddha
在我
school.
的右手的大拇指，
Back then, he was hiding inside my right
大拇指后
thumb.
面的纹显出出
So there was
马哈巴拉的脸，
the wrinkle on my thumb, the back of my thumb showed the face of
有一
Mahabala.
次最奇特，他出来的时候，
And what is extraordinary,
我
one
动
time
王结界，
I did Akala protection,
那就是在
boundary protection.
前几年的
That was a few years ago,
前很多年了吧，
many years now,
10月3
October
号，
3rd.
那晚上的时候啊，突然间来了
October
大炮
3rd
的
night,
这个
all of a sudden, a group of ghosts
嘴
came,
巴张开，
and I was shocked to
出来了 马哈巴拉。
to wake up in the middle of the night, and then my mouth opened, and from it Mahabala appeared.
驱除这些一批的鬼众，
So Mahabala and Akalanata eradicated that group of ghosts for about 20 minutes.
时间，鬼众就全部消灭掉，把鬼众全部消灭掉。
And they eradicate all the ghosts then.
大力金刚的显现，它也就是地藏王菩萨的
So that was the appearance of Mahabala.
大力使
And
者，
he's also one of the 6 envoys of Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva by the name of the envoy with great
他特
power,
别
and the same as the Heruka with great power of Mahabala.
行者，
So he especially protect True Buddha school spiritual cultivators or practitioners.
大家祈请他守护，
So pray to him for
有
protection,
名有愿，
and he will definitely respond.
还有很多的卦啊，
There are many Dharma practices related to Mahabala.
这是今天我们所做的护。
That's the Homa today.
讲几个笑话吧。
Let me tell a few jokes.
老师问同学
The teacher asked the students,
你看得到神吗？
Do you see God?
全班的同学回答。
All the students replied, No.
老师又问
And the
你
teacher
摸得
asked
到神
him,
吗？
Can you
全
touch
班的同
God?
学也讲不能。
And everybody replied, No. And the teacher
断定的讲，
was
那就
very
是代表
definitive
世界上没有神
and。said, See, that showed that there is no
这个时候
God
小明就举手发问，
on earth. Then Ming raised his hand and he asked, the student
老
asked,
师，
So
你
teacher,
看到你自己的大脑吗？这个
do you
脑海
see
里面的
your
东西
own
吗？
brain, the stuff inside your
老
head?
师讲不能。
And the teacher said,
小明就
No, I cannot.
你能
And
够
Ming
用你
asked
的
again,
手摸到你
Can you touch
脑壳里面的大脑吗？
the brain inside your skull with your hand?
小
No.
明就讲，
And then Ming
确定的
said
说，那就代表你
decisively, That means you have no brain.
老师当然就讲说，滚出去。
Of course, the teacher said, Get out of here.
这个客机啊，遇上乱流，旅
The
客
passenger
尖
plane
叫，
encountered
有的哭嚎，有的忙着祷告，
turbulence, and some was crying out loud, some was praying,
淡定的
and
做
there was only one passenger that didn't
飞机
have any expression and calmly sat there.
空服人员
And finally,
称赞他
the
非常
plane landed safely,
他希望
and the flight
得
attendants
到
praised
奖
him
品，
and wished to give him
对
some
乘客讲，
some
我
gift.
需要一条
And then the
适合
passenger
我
said,
换的裤子，
I just need a new pants for that's suitable for
因为
me.
他已经吓得屁滚尿流。
Because he was so shocked that he peed in his pants. 这个有一个女生呢，生了3个女儿， A woman gave
在庙
birth
里
to
不断
3
求助神娘娘
daughters,
希望下一胎是个男孩子。
and she prayed at the temple, praying to
结
the
果
the
下
lady
一胎
that
生的又是男孩子，
blesses birth for a boy, but the next one is also another girl.
她祈求下一胎是生一个男孩子，但
She
是
prayed
天不
for a
从人
boy,
意，后来又生个一个女孩
but
子。
she's give to another
这个
girl.
太太呢，不绝
So
望，
this
继续在
woman
求，
did
结
not
果
give up and continued to pray,
还是生的还是女孩子。
but she got another girl.
这个太太讲，我决定了，
So
要
she
换一间
said,
庙。
I want to go to
后
another
来
temple.
她终于生了男孩子。
And eventually she got a boy.
亲朋好友就问她，
So her
你这
friends
次
asked her,
到底是拜什么庙啊？
So which temple did you
真有
go?
像的。
It really
太
worked.
太回答，
And then she
拜
replied,
包公庙。
To the
保
Bao
证是公的。
It's playful of Chinese.
结婚10年纪念日，妻子对
The 10-year wedding anniversary, the
我昨
wife
天
told
晚
the
上做
husband,
了一个梦，
I dreamt
梦
last
见你
night
送给我一条
that you
钻
give
石
me
项链。
a diamond necklace.
你说这个梦是什么意思？
So what do you think it means?
你今天晚
And the
上
husband
知道
replies, you will know
妻
tonight.
子看到自己的暗示有效，
So
心中非
the
常
wife was really pleased because she thought that her hint
包东西。
worked.
妻子
So at
还
night,
喜悦
the husband gave her a
原来
box of
里面
gifts,
是一本书，
and she was very
叫做
happy
解闷。
about it. And then when she opened it, it turned out to be a book that said, the meanings of dreams.
有一天呢，一位精神病院的医生
A psychiatrist
精神病患的患者
one
脑
day was trying to check the brain power of the mentally
我把你
ill
的
patient,
耳朵割掉会怎么样？
and the doctor
患
asked,
者
so
回答：
what would you do if I cut one of your ears? And the patient said, then I will not be able to
割
hear.
掉会怎么样？
And how about if I cut your other
患者回
ear?
答：那
And
我
the
也看不
patient
见。
said, then I will not be able to see.
开始紧张，
And the doctor was anxious. How come?
患者
You cannot see?
因为我的眼
And the
睛会掉
patient
下
said,
来。
because my eyeglasses will fall.
好了，我们进入主题。
Now we'll get on to the main topic.
是莲花国标，莲花盆国
Question
标，
by 莲花
莲花夜情，
国标 and 莲花月情 together.
盆国标跟莲花夜情问。
Questions from 莲花盆国标 and 莲花月情
印尼的啊，印尼的，
from Indonesia.
他是这样子写：
That's what
深
they
深
wrote.
一心顶礼尊敬的
With great reference, homage to the most respectful
住世间不入
Guru, wish you great health, safety, longevity, never enter
真
nirvana,
佛法轮。
and continually turn the great Dharma wheel of the true Buddha.
290文集，
Recently, I read Grandmaster's book number 290, Stories of the Thousands of Dharma Vessels, on an article about the fine line between life and
了
death.
解师佛的心。弟子深
And
深
when
地
reading your
知道
book, I understand Grandmaster's
此文提到
heart or mind.
用红色布带写上如
In the article, it was written that you use a red
面平安，
cloth, a bag of red
将
cloth,
红色布
and on it you write Grandmaster's name
再
and
用
date and time of birth,
挂
and
在
then
本尊像的脖
you
子上
can draw a talisman to protect life,
如师尊。
and then for the red
除日午后，
cloth
将
bag,
红布带挂在本尊的脖子
you
上，
place the talisman inside the bag,
一切是为
and
了
then you use red thread to tie it, and then hang it on the neck of
为了
the
慈悲六好，
Buddha statues.
为了佛父的
That's the same as having the yidam protecting Grandmaster Lu, and you do it on the
我支持 办
eradication date in the afternoon,
师佛及众
and then you hang it on the yidam.
传一张
So for us, so that can we do this if we want to pray for Grandmaster to have a safety and health, to pray for Grandmaster to stay in samsara and be compassionate toward all sentient beings. So can we also perform the ritual? So can we also have this talisman and hang on our deities, our yidams, like or the wrathful deities, say like the Tiger Vajra or Yamantaka or Mahabala? Is this a question? It's not a question. So can they do the same? That's what they're asking, right? And then they ask for the talisman. Can you please give us the talisman? They're asking the True Buddha Foundation. So, who is the speaker of the True Buddha Foundation? So what do you think? Master Liaison.
Hello，师尊，我觉得这个应该个人也是可以做的。
In my opinion, it can be done individually.
只是说把那个字写上去而已。那我不知道是不是有什么不是，这个我就不懂。
I don't know if there's any ritual about it.
这样子啦，那我就他居然问了，
Since they ask,
他回答
let me give the answer
的
then.
话，回到中委会我就画一张。
When I go back to the True Buddha Foundation, I would draw these talismans for maintaining life and giving safety. Can it be hang on the neck of the serene yidam or wrathful yidam or protectors? I think should be fine. That's very simple. That's the answer. It's a talisman for safety and longevity.
这个笑话好像讲过，一只小蚊子跟它的妈妈讲
I think I've told this joke before.
可以飞行了。
A baby or a kid mosquito told its mom, his mom,
怎么知道呢？
I've learned how to fly and now I fly really well. And mom asked, how did you know? Oh, I just ran out. And then I just went out and I heard lots of clappings.
这个也是一个笑话吧。
Just another joke.
小明哭着对妈妈讲
Xiao Ming's crying
爸爸
and
刚
told
刚打
mom,
我，而且还打了
Dad
2次。
just hit me
妈
twice.
妈问乖，
And mom
怎么回
asked,
事？
so
爸爸
what's
为什
what's
么打
going
你？
on?
而
Why
且还
did
打了
Dad
2次。
beat you?
小明回答，
And twice.
第一次
And Ming
是
said, the
我
first
拿成
time
绩单给爸爸看，
I brought my scorecard to Dad, and because they were
爸爸
all
很生
red,
气，所以就打
so
我。
Dad was angry
妈
and
妈
beat
问
me.
那第2次呢？
And how about the second
小
time?
明讲，因为
And
爸
Ming
爸后来
replied,
发现那一张不是我的成绩单。
he found out that the scorecard was not mine.
小明讲，
Oh, then whose was
爸
it?
爸的成绩单。
That was Dad's.
好，我们讲这个净无等等，佛自在
Now we will continue to talk about
无畏18
they nearly equaled the wisdom of self-mastery, the 10 powers, the 4 fearlessness, and the 18 uncommon characteristics of the unequaled Buddhas, unequaled
无
ones,
等等咒，
meaning Buddhas. We often chant the unequaled
大
mantra,
明咒
the supreme mantra, the great mantra,
啊，最后是无等等咒。
and then the last one is the unequaled
什么叫
mantra,
做无等等？
great wisdom mantra. So what is an unequal or asanasama? That's Buddha, the epithet for Buddha, the unequaled one.
接近无等等，
So
接近佛了，
they
这些大
nearly
菩萨修
equal
行已经接近佛了，
the unequaled one, which is the Buddha. So
也得
the
到
great
了
bodhisattva's spiritual cultivations
如来的佛
is
的实力，
almost reaching a Buddhahood. That's
18
why
不共法。
they are also close to having the
解释
10 powers, 4 fearlessness, and the 18 uncommon
已经接
characteristics.
近佛了，
That's the
就是
typical
感觉
explanation. You're close
妙解
to becoming a Buddha, so that's called
正解
awaiting
的
Buddhahood.
觉悟，
And
接近佛了，
Buddhahood are called the marvelous
所以他们已经有佛的
realization.
实力，
So they're very close. That's why they also have
18不共法。
the Buddha's 10 powers, 4 fearlessnesses, and 18 uncommon characteristics. That's it
我
for
今天
typical
早上请那
explanation.
个年级上师呢，
This
给
morning,
我那个
I asked
跟18不共法
Master Lin Qi to give me the
在佛教里面的名词，
10 powers and the 18 uncommon characteristics. This is a Buddhist specific term
第一项，处
for
归
the
处之力，
10 powers.
处归处之力。第二项，
So
事业的之力。第三项，禅定、解脱三昧、正受的之力。第四项，
the first one is the wisdom, the power of knowing the ultimate truth and otherwise, of knowing the karma of the past, present, and future lifetimes, of knowing contemplation, liberation, and samadhi, of knowing faith and 5 roots of sentient beings, knowing all kinds of supreme understanding of sentient beings, knowing all kinds of natures and behaviors of sentient beings, of knowing the various karma of humans and devas, of knowing everything in the past lives, knowing life and death, good, bad, and karma of sentient beings, and the last one is the wisdom power of all knowing their own total leakage,
佛的10种。
irrelevant of
当
other
然，我们刚刚看这个
existences and
名词，不一定了解它里面到底
of
是讲的
course
是什么。
these terms may not explain what it is talking about. So what is the wisdom power of knowing the ultimate truth and otherwise?
处归处之力，简单跟大家讲，
Simply said,
你做了什么业，
what karma you have created, then you would stay accordingly.
也就是像我们做什么业，我们造了什么业，
Whatever
将来
karma
就会得到什
you
么报，
cause,
就会处在那个环
you
境。
would suffer its retribution.
为什么你会身为人呢？
Then you would be in that realm or state.
就是你一般
Like us, why are we born as human beings? Because you have done
所以你才会处
partly
在
good and partly bad. That's why you're living in the human world.
是了解这种力量。佛
So this is the power to understand this.
你如果
The
做
Buddha has this power.
布施的善业，
If you perform good deeds of giving, then you would stay in heavens.
你太迷疑，
They know
这
that.
个太贪了，
But if you're too greedy,
你会处在地狱。
then you would stay in
沉
hells.
了，沉了，
If you have too much anger and
处在
hatred,
动物界、
then you might be in the animal realm
恶鬼界。
or the Hungry Ghost realm.
太愚痴了，
If you're too ignorant or foolish, then you would be in the animal realm. Because beings in the animal realm are typically very
修行啊，没有办
very
法怎么样
ignorant and foolish. It's impossible for them to cultivate spiritually.
恶鬼道，
And the Hungry Ghost realm.
你会处在哪个界？
So which realm you are
我知
in
道做什么，
because of what you have done.
处会
And the Buddha knows. And this is the wisdom
这
power
是第一个。
of knowing
所以我讲了，单单这一
the
句，
state.
你这个实力就要讲10次，是无畏。
So just in this phrase, for the 10 powers, I will talk about, I would give 10 expositions.
18次，
And for the 4 fearlessness, I have to give 4 discourses. And for the 18 uncommon characteristics, I have to give 18 discourses. Then I have to give 32 discourses just for this phrase.
公开网民，
That's just
32次，几个
incredibly
礼拜啊，
too much.
一
How
个礼拜才
many?
讲2句，
So twice a week, that would be 16 weeks.
那讲10几个礼拜，16个礼拜啊，你看
16
讲4
weeks,
个月，这一句
4
就要讲
months,
4个月，
just to explain this phrase.
青菜啊，
Then no,
不然会累死。
that's fine. Just otherwise, I would be too tired. The second one, huh?
知道所有的业报嘛？刚刚讲的也是业啊，你造了
Is
什
to
么业，
know
就到
about
哪
all
个
the
处。
karma.
第二个
Like just now,
知业之力，
where you go after creating what karma.
如来对于一切众生都知道他的过去、现在跟未来。
So the Tathagata knows the past, present, and future of
为
all
什么？因为
sentient
知道他的
beings.
业，他造了什
Because
么
they
业，
know why. Because they
过
know
去造
about
了
their
什么业，
karma
现在会变
and
成
what
怎么
karma
样？
they have created in the
后来
past.
会变
So
成怎么样？
what they will become now, and then in the future, what they will become. They know about all
这个叫
those.
做知道过去、现在、未来的业报。
So this is knowing the karmic
这个跟第一个
retributions
有点
of the past, present, and
差
future
不多，处在哪
lifetimes.
里？
It's pretty similar to the first one.
种种的业报的，这是第二个。第三个，
And all kinds of karma. And for the third one,
禅定解脱三昧正受的资历。如
so
来在所有的禅定里面，
the power
实在无
of
碍，
contemplation, liberation, and
是
samadhi.
力如实偏执。
So Tathagata is unhindered in his meditation.
如何解脱？如何禅
And
定？
how to meditate, how to
如何禅
be
定？如何
liberated,
解脱？
they know all that.
我们时时都在禅定。
Like Vimalakirti states that we are in meditation at any time and we are liberated at any time.
成佛了，就是时时都是解脱。
So once you attain Buddhahood, you are liberated at any moment and you're in meditation at any moment.
然后呢，
That was the third
如来也
power.
知道
And the next
众
one,
生啊，他的根
the
性
Tathagata also
或者力
knows their
我的大小，
spiritual roots, whether
再来
sharp or
讲
dull.
根立存之力。一看 你这上根器，这个人是上
So
根
they
器，
know right
这个人
away
是中根器，
if
这个
someone
人是下根
has a
器。
superior, middling, or
这个人是没有
inferior
根
spiritual
器，
roots, or someone without any spiritual roots.
我们一看就知道了。
We know it right away.
这个一看，如来都知道，你
The
这是上
Tathagata
根器，
knows
是中根器，是下根器。
if you have
像
superior
我进到那个一房，
spiritual root or middling spiritual root or inferior
将来
spiritual
要去
root.
广度
Like
众
when I
生，
visited the Jade Emperor Temple, Golden Mother told me that in the future you will widely deliver sentient beings. How did she
这就是
know?
佛，
Because she's a Tathagata,
知
she's
道
a
你将来可
Buddha.
以度众生，
So
这
she
个人可以
knows
将来出来度众
that
生。
this person can deliver sentient
他就
beings
跟
in
我
the
讲，你
future.
将来要去度众生。
And that's what she told me, that I would be delivering sentient
没想到
beings.
我现在变成这样子，真的
Then I said, I didn't know anything, but it turned out, see, now I'm giving Dharma teachings.
如来本身就有
So
这种力量。
Tathagata has such power.
很多人问我，我做
Many
什么
people
事业
ask
最好？
me, what should they
我一
do?
看那个人，
What is best? What career is best for them?
看他的身
And
材，
I look at their face, their body shape.
属于哪一行？
I determine whether they belong to which elements:
对，你是
water, earth, wood, fire,
你
or
是当医
metal.
生最好，
Or are
你是
you
当律
best
师
to
最好。
be in finance, business, real estate, whatever? It depends on their
有一个人进来，
capacities, spiritual
你
capacities.
这个人呐，
And someone came and I said, it's best if you become a butcher,
他说世尊，你错，
pigs. And he said, Grandmaster, you're wrong. I don't butcher pigs, but I butcher chicken.
也差不多了。
It's close. It's close.
所以这个叫诸根立存之力。啊，
So this is the power of knowing the roots, spiritual roots of sentient beings. And then the wisdom power of knowing
人的所有的众生
all
的
kinds of
欲望，
desires
知道
and
有
interests
些
of
人是
sentient
善
beings.
有些人是恶，
And know that some people are good, some people are
不
bad,
了解叫做种种
and they understand it
种
all.
之力。
That is
所以我
this
讲，
power.
我昨天晚上讲，一看这个人，啊，这个人一定可以往生到佛国净土，
Like I said last night, I
因为他
can,
有善相。
by seeing someone, I know immediately if this person will be reborn in the Pure Lands or in the Buddha verses, because they have good look, good face,
所以有时候我会
a virtuous face, and then somebody else cannot, because they have an evil
他
evil look.
一看，
If you ask for Bardo deliverance and show me their photos, I can tell. Someone
需
can
要有
be
很大的力量，
reborn in Pure Land and other people cannot. They need a lot of effort before they can be Bardo delivered. I can tell all
另
those.
外还
The
有
next
种种
one
戒知。
is the wisdom power of knowing all kinds
活
of
在世间呢，
natures
看到了种种的不同的戒，
and
什么
realms
不
of
同的
sentient
戒呢？
beings. So the Buddha in the world knows all kinds of
智慧的戒力，
realms.
智慧戒力，智慧戒力。这个人
So
到底到什么
it's the level, the spiritual level that they
这
reach.
个跟气差不多了，到什么程度？
And this is close to spiritual root.
知力到什么程度？
Their wisdom, intelligence, the level of their wisdom or
称为
intelligence.
种种戒之
And
力，
you can tell
应该处
too.
在哪一个戒？
So what state are they
我
in?
想，要是金母的结界的地方，也不是不容易到的。第一个，
That
弱
the boundary protection within Golden Mother is not easy to reach.
逆水3000你过不去啊。你要到瑶池金母的
It's like
瑶池仙境，
3,000
你逆水3000，逆水3000怎么连鹅毛
boundary, like boundary that you cannot reach. Like
放在那个水上面
if you want to go to the fairyland or the pure land of Golden Mother, you cannot reach it because it's protected by
最顶上它还
by
有
that water. Even if you're as light as a feather, you would still sing in that
那
water.
个一个缸，
It's like a
缸洪市政，读作缸，那个缸轰，
so
缸轰有风在吹，
there's like
就是瑶池金母。
winds as sharp
缸轰
as
怎么样子？
very sharp wind, like blades. That's also the boundary protection of the Golden Mother
在
realm.
动了，你一个环上去，
Blades. Like if you're a mundane being and you try to get there, you
看剩下骨掉
you
下，
won't even have any bones
肉
left.
呢都被割光
They're
了，
all
哪里
being
能够去？就是
sliced to nothing.
瑶池金母，
So you
瑶池仙
cannot
境
pass through it. That's the boundary protection of Golden
戒
Mother's
指力，你要到瑶池金母那里去，你过不去啊。
fairyland or pure land. So if you want to go to Golden Mother's realm,
有
you
一个人
cannot.
到过瑶池金母那里去，
There's only one person that's
周
been
朝
there,
的周穆王，
and that
历
was
史上传说啊，周
the
周
King
穆王
Mu of the Zhou dynasty,
有8匹骏马，乘了8匹骏马，
riding on 8 golden horses, golden celestial horses that took him to the Golden Mother's place, the King Mu of the Zhou dynasty.
这是戒之力。另外还有一个
So the power of the realm, and then the power of the path,
这个什么道之
the
力，
wisdom power.
他是讲说6道当中啊，可以讲6道里面
So
就
what's
是有肉
that? That the 6 rebirth realms are have leakages,
有肉的，有过失的，
which means they have faults or flaws.
那么你道之力必须要修到无漏，
So in this wisdom power of the past, you
完全
need
业
to
障全部
reach non-leakage,
清除干净。
which you have eradicate all of your karma. That's non-leakage
漏尽
means
就叫漏尽，
that, or total
这是属于
leakage.
漏尽通。
So this is
有
considered
过失的，在6道里面，你没有过失的，完全业障清净的。
So if you have no faults and your karma has been cleared completely, then you can go to the 4 Sichli realms.
第8个是宿命之力，
And the 8th one is the wisdom power of knowing everything in the past
讲
lives.
宿命通了。
So in terms of transcendent power, that's the transcendent power of knowing past
宿
lives.
命通，这宿命通包括了天眼、天耳、他心通。
So, and that includes transcendent power of divine eyes, divine ears,
像这个维摩诘
and knowing what people are thinking in their minds. Like in the Vimalakirti Sutra, the Buddha knows what Sariputra was thinking
维摩
about,
诘也知道，
and Vimalakirti
这
too
就是他心
knows.
通。
That's the transcendent power of knowing
那么舍利
what's
佛
on
这
others'
些大阿
minds.
罗汉到什么境界？
So, the realm of Sariputra and the Arhats were also known by the Buddha in Vimalakirti.
树木之力，
And that power is called the power
是生死
of
之力。
knowing everything
如
in the
来
past
在种种的
lives.
宿命当中啊，
And then the wisdom power of knowing life and death.
或者到几百世、几千世，
So whether one lifetime or hundreds or thousands of lifetimes, as we often say, knowing 500 past lives, 500 future lives. But sometimes even thousands or tens of thousands or trillion myriads. So you die here and you're born there and then born and die and die and born continuously. Unless you spiritually cultivate until you eradicate your karma completely, then you can go to the four sagely realms. And only those are considered true attainments of fruition from your spiritual cultivation. And the last one is the wisdom power of knowing or having total leakage. All the Buddhas have no doubts and no habitual tendencies anymore. If a Buddha still goes to exit 27 to gamble, to the casino, even if they go, they just play with it or take a look. They will not put their heart mind into it. Such habitual tendencies has been gone long ago. Or bad habits of drinking, gambling, or sex, they all been eradicated completely. Only then it is called the everlasting life, because you have eternally cut off all your habitual tendencies, afflictions, attachments. And that's called the wisdom power of total leakage. So all those are the 10 powers of the Tathagata. Wow. And then the 18 uncommon characteristic of the Tathagata. Let me just read it. Non-leaking of the body, non-leaking of the speech, the non-leakage of the mind, and then you don't think of other things. That your mind is completely in meditation. And you don't. Then you always do giving. And your desire has never stopped. The desire to help sentient beings never stopped. That your diligence is never stop, never lazy, never careless. And the mind, the non-stop mind, which means your commitment never broken, and the wisdom is always there, and the liberation is never lost. And that your understanding about liberation never stops or never lessens. And everything that your physical body does is all wisdom. And all the things that you say is all wisdom, the language of the wisdom. And your mind is also completely wisdom wise, complies with the wisdom. You know about the past without hindrances. The Grandmaster knows what I have done in my past lives. They're all right in front of my eyes. I know about my own past lives without any hindrances. You know all those, and you also know about the future lives without hindrances.
你也知道，
And you
你
also
现在的智
know
慧在现在世里面也是没有障碍的。
that you also have no hindrances in the present
这是佛
lifetimes.
的这个18不共，
So this is the 18
生
uncommon characteristics of the
所以
Tathagata.
现在修到生无漏，
So the
在
non-leakage
世
of the
修到
body,
生无漏。
and Grandmaster has reached the non-leakage of the body
身体
in my 40s, in the 40s.
你的明点，
So what does it mean? Your body, your light drops will not be leaked out or will not be emitted. That's the most basic,
明点
in the least, at the
就
least.
是身有漏。我也
Once
讲过了，有
you emit your light drops, that means
就是你还有欲望，你才会
you
漏。
still have a leaking
你
body
根本没有那个欲望，
because you still have desires. That's why you leak. If you don't have
你可以
desires
得到大
anymore,
乐，
then
但是
you
你并
have
没有
not
那个
leaking
那个
body.
欲望。
You can still experience great bliss, but you don't have the desire.
生无漏，第一
Of
位
course, that's
生
extremely
无漏就
difficult.
非常困难。
So the first one, the non-leaking body alone, is already extremely difficult.
这个修正这个生无漏，就是
And Grandmaster has attained fruition in the non-leakage practice of the body, which means the light drops
这个口无漏，
have never been emitted. And the non-leaking
把
speech,
讲出来的都是很有智慧的。
of course, whatever you say is very wise, full of wisdom. People can tell
嘴巴讲，
upon hearing,
这
it.
个但是很奇怪，
But strangely,
有时候骂人也是很舒服的一件事情。
sometimes scolding people feels good.
骂人啊，那日本人在骂人啊，八戒也路。
When the Japanese
八戒也
scolds,
路，
baka.
我是把它翻成中文，八戒也路。
I translated it into Chinese.
我们的国骂，华人的国骂，这3个字，
And the curse of Chinese.
You mother good，
Your mother good.
You mother good， 你妈好吗？这也有国骂啊，也有国骂。我看那个蒋介石写蒋介石唐人写的那个书，就是《京华春梦》吧。京华春梦
The book written by Chiang Kai-shek,
他也经常有那个骂。
and he also often
那个骂我真的
curse.
搞不清楚是写什么，翻成什么狼
I don't know what it was. It was translated into Lang Sibi. Was that?
就是狼梁西皮，搞不清楚他为什么讲这是浙江人的骂话吧？
It's a curse of the 浙江 province.
3个字，
But for Taiwanese,
也是
we use that 3
碰
words.
到一个比丘尼，
I encountered
那个比丘尼
a
跟我
nun
讲，
who
我胆子
told
很
me
大。我说你胆子哪里？
I have great courage, and I
敢
said,
讲
how come?
那个
And she said,
讲那一句脏话。
because I dare to say that.
你是你的，你怎么敢讲那句台湾人的脏话呢？他们脏话那一句话是男人讲的啊，
And that's only spoken
我
by
女生
men.
也可以讲。
But she said, although I'm a nun, I dare to say it
就
too.
是我们台湾话叫干掉。干掉是怎样？
Taiwanese.
我敢讲干掉的话。你说 真的那个比丘尼真的很粗。
So that nun was really
第一次碰到
really
那个比丘尼，
lowly, coarse.
他出家了，但是他以前
It was a nun in Mahayana
骂脏话，在
Buddhism
场所里面。
because she cursed all the time in perhaps in her past.
宗派的一个女上师，
Once I
什
asked
么行业的？
a female master of our Buddha school, "What did you do before?"
他讲了一句话，
And she
师
replied,
尊啊，
"Grandmaster,
只要你想得出来的行业，我都做过。
I have done whatever business you can think of,
真的，
whatever area,
过去就是我所写
really."
夜总会观音啊，
And that's what I wrote. It's the look at this one, Guan Yin in the nightclub.
这吃喝嫖赌都做了，不付钱吃出去，
So
站在门口拿一把菜刀，往桌上
when the gangster came and
站在桌上，
ate and drank without paying, she would bring a huge
要
knife
从我这个门出，
and throw it to the table. It's like, okay, pay up. If not, you wouldn't be able to leave.
他就是夜总会观音。
And the gangster did
过
pay.
来，
So she was the Guan Yin of the nightclubs. And she told me she've done everything.
不相信你问他。
If you don't believe me, you can ask her.
很好玩。这个口无私很重要，
That was fun.
口都是智慧讲出来。
The non-leaking speech, that's important. So whatever you say is full of
意
wisdom.
念无私，
And the mind is also very important.
你
The
看师尊的意
non-leaking
念在
mind.
做什么？
So what
我做任何事
is
情呢，
Grandmaster's mind doing?
供养活菩萨。
So my mind always make offerings to the Buddhas and
我的意念
Bodhisattvas
是在
in
供养活菩萨。
doing anything.
那随着我的意念，我嘴巴念出来。
And then, according to what's on my mind, I would say it
供
with
养
my
四
speech.
手方，
I often chant this, offering to the four guardian mothers, the Dakinis in the 8 directions, and the goddesses in the 20 heavens,
供养
and offering to the white Tara, to the green Tara,
供养物色天女，
offering to the 5-colored goddesses, offering to the Majilaptron,
供养黑昏怒母，
offering to the black wrathful
供养咕
Dakini,
噜咕列国母，
offering to Gurukuli Buddha Mother, offering to
供养
Dorje
金刚
Pamo,
瑜伽母，
and offering to the
自己
Vajrayogini.
转化成为莲华生大师，
And I transform myself into Guru Padmasambhava,
曼
offering to Ishichuka, Mandarewa,
卡拉西
Sakyadewa, Kalasiti, and Tashi children, offering to Saraswati,
妙音天女，供养萨拉萨蒂，
the goddess of marvelous sound, and offering to Mahasri,
12吉祥天，供养多嘎，
or the 12 Sri
供养
Devis,
卡利，
offering to
供
Durga
养
and
长寿
Kali,
五天女，
the 5 longevity
供养瑶
goddesses,
池金母，
offering to Golden Mothers,
华林、梅兰
Kali, Menan, Yaoji, Ifu,
啊，供养
Golden Mother's daughters,
双城、飞
and attendant Swangchen, Fei Chong,
青鸾、
and
少鸾
then、
幼鸾
Qingluan, Shaoluan, Yuluan,
然后供养瑶池金母，
and then offering to Golden Mothers 3,000 attendants,
10万
and
空
offering to the 100,000 Dakinis in the
我就是这样念
organ Pure
每次
Land.
做事情我都是这样子在做供养。
I chant all this every time I do things and make offering.
持经咒供养。
When I chant the sutra and mantra, I make offerings. When I chant the Buddha's name, I make an offering. And practicing Buddha Dharma, everything I make offerings. I perform giving everything. Also, when I perform the 1,000 Dharma vessels, Dharma Bardu deliverance, I also make offering. I also giving, performing generosity and giving. And I transform my mind so that whatever I do is transformed into purity. And that's the conduct of wisdom. As a spiritual cultivator, whatever you do can be offered to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. The same with eating, wearing, dressing up, or living, or traveling, including languages, words. You use the pure mind to offer them to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. If you practice those, that you have the purity of the body, speech, and mind, and that is Tantrayana, Tantric Buddhism.
有一种叫做无业，
There is something that's called
不会产生业障。
no karma. You will not generate karma. And what circumstance is that?
连一个梦都没有。
Is when you have no dream at all when you sleep at night.
在这一段时间，
So during such time, you have no dreams at all. That means it's unrecorded.
没有记，
It's not recorded.
那个就是真正叫做业障没有。
Then you have no karma.
连
Then
梦都没有。
when you sleep and you have no karma at all.
你做过什么梦吗？
Yeah, there's some disciples. Have you dreamed of
我一个梦
anything?
都不会做。
And they said, I don't dream of
然后
anything.
眼睛一张开就天亮。
I lay down. When I open my eyes, it's daybreak, and I didn't have any dreams whatsoever.
不会记录你什么，因为
So during such time, it's
那
unrecorded
个叫做无记。
because nothing
无
exists.
记当然也不算是过失了，就没有什么。
So unrecorded, it's not considered false. Because some people kill in their dreams or they have greed, anger, and delusion, then that would become recorded. So even in the dreams and also in real lives,
但是还是有因。
although you know it is illusory and dreamlike, but karma is still there. Please remember this.
无漏
So in our spiritual cultivation, we want to have a non-leaking body, non-leaking speech, and non-leaking mind.
业障完
Then
全清
you
净，
have no faults. The karma has been completely eradicated.
业尽情空，成就了果。
When the karma is
这一
purified,
句话的解释：
the
尽无等等，我自在非。
feeling is
十种力量，是无畏，是八
So this is the meaning of this phrase. They nearly equaled the self-mastery, 10 powers, 4 fearlessness, then 18 uncommon characteristics of the unequaled ones or Buddhas.
有一个人，他没有两只脚，
Someone
但是他装了意志
did not have
啊，
legs,
挑战珠穆朗玛峰。当然，
but had a
山 最高的
prosthetic and challenged
是
himself to climb Mount Everest.
不去爬那个
So
马峰，
how about you? You have no reason not to climb Mount Everest. And
他
the
的腿
answer,
不会痛，我的会。
because he will not feel pain in his legs, but I
不会
will,
痛啊，他一只啊，他腿哪里会痛？
because it's a purpose.
我跟
That is a
阿公
thick
散
legs.
步的时候，遇到
When I strolled with Grandpa, I encountered a beautiful girl. So I took another look and another look at
就
her.
问我，
And my grandpa
你是不是
noticed
想
and
要他的
asked
手
me,
机号码？
so you want her phone
我
number?
立刻就脸红，
And I blushed.
只见阿公向那个女孩子走过去。3分钟
Then
后，
Grandpa walked toward that girl. And 3 minutes later, my
甜
phone
美的声音，
rang, and I heard that sweet, gentle voice of a
你快来
girl
公园接她。
and
我在公园
said,
门口等
Hi,
你哦。
your grandpa is lost.
那阿公很
So now I'm at the front gate of the park. Can you come and meet him? So the grandpa is really smart.
在候诊室里面坐着一个忧心忡忡的病人。
In the back
当医
the
生
clinic
传
waiting
他的
room,
时候，他
there
满面
was
愁容的讲：
a patient with
医生啊，
so
怎么
much
办？
grief.
我昨天
And when the
喝
doctor
下
called
一
on
瓶
him,
汽水，
he said,
汽油
I
啦，
mistakenly drank a bottle of
昨天误
gasoline.
喝了1瓶这个汽油。医生回答说：不要紧，
And
没
doctor
关系
said,
的，
oh, don't
记
worry,
得这几天不要抽烟
it's
就好。
fine. Just don't smoke.
有一天呢，一对
One
夫妻
day,
吵架，
a couple
丈夫就
fought,
讲：你根本没有什么价值，
argued, and the husband said, you have no
如何证
value
明
at
我没有
all.
价值？
And the wife said, how do you
这丈
prove
夫啊
that?，
他就把计程车叫来，问
And
计
the
程车司机
husband called the：
请问
taxi
从
and
这里
asked
到
the
机
driver,
场要多少钱？
how much will it cost from here to the airport?
差不多300块。
And the driver
他又问
replied,
计
about
程车司机：
$300.
那我跟我老
Then he
婆
asked again,
一起坐呢？计
how
程车
about
司
it
机
for
讲
both of
一
us?
样是300块。
And the taxi driver
然后他
replied
就
the
跟
same,
我讲：我
$300.
说你没有价值。
See? You had no value, right? You have no price.
好，今天就讲到这里。
That's all for today on my journey home.